Alright, welcome back to MMG. In this video, I will, the first half I'm going to talk about the virus, and you should turn down the volume. I am pretty annoyed and pissed off, and I'm going to be ranting and raving. The second half, we'll take a look at the markets, do some TA, and talk about the markets. Alright, so first of all, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not even a licensed financial advisor. Before you do anything, consult your licensed financial advisor, and do not invest in anything you're not willing to lose or lose sleep over. Have stops in place, emotions out. This is more of an educational channel. Listening to me rant and rave about things that are going on in the world that would affect the macroeconomics of the world. And let's get into it. First of all, people, you guys don't get it. Nobody gets it. I mean, a few people get it. For one, you better appreciate these videos now, because I'm not going to be able to do them later. People are getting completely censored, and as things escalate, that'll continue. Two, I'm doing this because it's important. It is the most important thing right now. And, you know, everyone's still trying to chase profits. Talk about Bitcoin, man. Talk about the stocks and mining stocks, this and that. You don't get it, do you? It's not important. It's not gonna matter if this thing continues to spread. Okay, it's not, and no one's taking it seriously. Like, I get it. Media has hyped up in the past all the other viruses, and nobody takes anything seriously anymore, and they think it's being hyped up. It's not. They're covering it because they have to, because they can't hide it. It's global, so they have to talk about it. But are they warning anyone of the possibilities here? No. No, everyone's downplaying it. And that's fact, because people are getting censored. These videos I make, when I talk about it, they don't get any traction whatsoever. Alright? Do I benefit talking about it? No, I don't. Do I want this to happen? No. Actually, I don't profit, because if it gets bad enough, my mining stocks aren't going to go up. Matter of fact, the entire system will melt down, and you wouldn't even be able to get cash out of the ATMs, I believe. If this becomes a global... If what happened in China happens globally, there's no making profits and getting rich. It's survival, okay? And it's that serious. And then there's, psychologically, there's people who don't want, they like sticking their heads in the sand because they're afraid of death. That's what it is. Deep down, they're scared to death of this. So they'll ignore it. They won't take it seriously. And I don't give a shit. Like, you chose your life. Whatever happens to you, you earned it. The problem is, if you are downplaying it and telling other people to not take it seriously, you might convince other people to not take it seriously who would have, right? So now you're putting other people's lives at risk, possibly. And that's irresponsible. So if you do you, but don't go telling people that everything's going to be fine. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing morally wrong about being prepared for something like this or anything. A societal. If you, most of you are so. People are stupid. Okay, that's what it is. I told you guys I sympathize with the elite. Okay. Um, if you understood how complex the modern world is to sustain large populations and cities, and how the human race is dependent on the complex system running at full steam, if you understood how fragile this system is, then you wouldn't tell people not to worry about anything. You should be you should be a prepper anyways, just for the financial system, or for maybe a sun flare EMP. Or an average person has enough food for 5 days, and if they can't get money, all hell breaks loose. Do you understand that? Okay? So you should be prepared to be self-sustained for at least 3 months. Okay? Despite this. Okay? So for the trolls, listen, stop watching me. Fuck off. It's that simple. By the way, I ban everyone. I don't care. I care. Zero fucks given, guys. Alright? I don't care what anyone else thinks. I don't. Because I know that they don't put in the work that I do. They don't risk everything. I risk everything. I put my face on a screen. I'm out there publicly. You think I'm not risking anything? You think they're not going to... I put up the most risk here. So if you don't appreciate what I do, go somewhere else. It's that simple. Just get out of here. Get out. Alright? Right. So I'm really mad. I have no faith in humanity. I really don't, guys. Stock market's just shooting higher. Idiots are buying Tesla stocks. Everyone's still talking about everything like it's like everything's gonna be normal, and everyone's ignoring reality. And it's always like this in manias and at peaks. It's always like this. But it's frustrating for someone like me. I don't know if it's some sort of gift or something. I was born like this, but I always saw through the bullshit. I never ran with the herd and the masses. And I could see the world as it is. I'm not caught up with manias. I'm not caught up with, I don't know, mass herd mentality, right? I have high pattern recognition. I enjoy studying history, so I don't repeat it, right? So you learn. If you study the past, much easier to predict the future. And it's just frustrating to see the masses and average people just I don't know. They don't think for themselves. They really don't. Not at all. Not whatsoever. Alright. And I'm sick of being the messenger. And the messenger, don't shoot the messenger. Well, I'm constantly getting shot. And it gets annoying and frustrating after a while. And it also gets annoying and frustrating when you're right all the time, most of the time. Yet people still don't listen to you, and they still it's like useless. I do what I can to help people, and I profit off of it. Absolutely. I earned it. I'm going to profit off of this. No shame. No shame. It's better that it goes to me than Goldman Sachs or some other asshole, right? Anyways, I don't know, guys. Like I said, the herd, it's going to get thinned out. Is it a bad thing? I don't know. Is it? Because I see a lot. Having like a social media empire and chat groups and whatnot, you see other people and you see what they write, and you could see that they're not paying attention. They're not taking shit seriously. You could it's fascinating from seeing it from my angle. I have a good I can see through people real easily. Like I don't know why, but I can see human not herd mentality, but human psychology, the way people act and think, and how their primal instincts kind of control them. And it also helps me in the markets. And you guys have to understand, it's not just TA. It's not just fundamentals. It's it's in a way kind of being able to see the matrix and to see human psychology in how it plays out. Anyways, so the real numbers. Remember in my last video, I was posting that doctor's video, and there was a couple doctors who've come out. They put themselves on the line. They're speaking the truth. They're fascinated about it, and they talked about the numbers, and they're like, it has to be more like 150, quarter million. Well, guess what? It wasn't an accident. Someone on the inside wanted the real numbers to get out. Maybe they lost family members. Maybe they just see what's going on. And when things get really tough, people's morals actually come out. And others' morals go away. That's another problem about this entire situation. When people get hungry and when their comfy lifestyles just disappear and they get worried and panicked, the best and the worst comes out of people. All right. And I've posted a bunch of videos. You can see that happening in China right now. And other places around the world, right? Now, you guys have to understand this and see this from the control structures. So governments, right? Their first priority is to not panic the public. Hence, you have to have control over the information, and you're going to lie and not give all the information. And they need time to prepare themselves in the background, I guess kind of in secrecy, right? Before the public, the masses, wake up to reality. Okay? And that's what's happening right now. That's the phase we're in. And then at some point, there'll be critical mass where there's no hiding it, right? People are just dropping in major cities, like in Times Square. People might start dropping. Then at that point, people start sharing it on their phones everywhere. Maybe there'll be a cutoff switch. I don't know, but there will be at some point a critical mass. I have that software that sort of predicts the rate of the spread. We'll take a look at that again. Anyways, so a Chinese publication that publishes the numbers accidentally on the first published these numbers not once but a couple times. I heard different numbers, like 4 times or twice. Anyways, for like they'll put it up for like a minute or something and then take it back down. Why would they do that? It's someone, trying to get the word out. That's what I believe. It's the only reasonable explanation for it. And these were the numbers. 154,000 confirmed 80,000 possible, about 24,000, 25,000 deceased, right? And that makes sense. For the R naught and the rate of the spread, it makes absolute sense. The population density, the slow reaction, and quarantine, the flooding of all the hospitals, and then the reaction of what's happening. They're gassing the cities, right? I mean, guys, I've so many videos. I have endless, right, in the newsroom. They're literally building hospitals within 6 days. Not one, not two, but they're just building tons of them now. They're turning stadiums into quarantine camps. The military is out, and they're setting up tents everywhere with trenches around the bases so people can't get out. Video that. Guys, it's serious. They have burn pits, and there's like smog and smoke throughout the cities. Why would there be smoke and smog if there's no cars driving around? Because everyone's locked down on quarantine. You can't leave your home. It's illegal to drive around. Guys, it's common sense. Stop ignoring this. Here's a video of people flying back to the U.S. The suits they're wearing, I mean, it's straight out of the movies. I mean, these are, I forgot what level, but this is, they have electric respirators. Like, it's not even you're just breathing and you got a filter. It gets filtered through a machine and gives you oxygen. Why would they take these precautionary measures if it's just the freaking flu? I have videos of people getting put in boxes on the back of trucks. Apparently, they were disinfecting a bunch of buses with gas, and they burnt down like a row of buses. Sometimes the way I handle stress is I just laugh at shit. I mean, sometimes it's ridiculous. This is clown world. And then you have shit like this, like 35 trillion just missing. It's stocks just going higher no matter what. Like, this world is fucked up. He's at the forefront, right? And he does have a degree. He's real degree in this. He is a scientist, published papers, and they're censoring him. For all the people who are like, no man, they're hyping it. Like everything else, scare tag. No. They're downplaying it. He wrote, so this guy, you have to watch this. He talked about, it's more than likely how it started, and he published and had it go through Congress, like the procedures with exactly pandemics and stuff like that. And he's a professor now. I mean, he's telling the truth. This is as inside as you get. You should watch that. It's all in my newsroom. Yeah, military's been deployed. Just people dropping everywhere. Just chemicals being sprayed on people in entire cities. Like, guys, it's just the flu. This was funny though. He's wearing one of those. I mean, this would protect you in a way because it's not airtight or anything, but it's better than nothing. It's better than a bag. You got to do what you got to do. I mean, guys, let's continue here. If you look at these cities, if you've never seen the Chinese cities, they're enormous. an average city has like 10 million. That's more than New York City. Do you understand the size of these cities? They're insane. And everyone's locked up in apartment buildings. And people are delivering food to them. And news came out that they all got infected. The people delivering the food, and everyone was getting infected. They're quarantining. They're like locking down entire complexes, apartment complexes. And I'm not trying to spread fear. This is what it's confirmed. I have evidence. It's happening. It's happening. The people who right now are downplaying this, and I'm not trying to profit. I'm worried. I am personally, guys, I don't want to go out and buy thousands and thousands of dollars of prepper shit. I really don't. I just want everything to go back to the way things were like 3 weeks ago. Getting ready to profit so I could go buy a mansion and Lambo. Like, this is not what I want to do. I don't want to go buy trailer with freaking generators and gas. Like, and you got to think really ahead. Like, you need tools to fix things, all kinds of stuff. There's animal thing. There is what is it? Kennels for animals. For dogs and cats, because they do get strains of coronavirus. There's like virus killers you could buy out there. It's not that expensive. A gallon's like $30. It's concentrate form. Anyways, you guys get that point. But what I'm trying to say is, let's zoom out here. By the way, these numbers, these little red dots, it's way worse than that. Way worse. 10x everything. And the spread's probably very spread out by now. It's just that no one's getting tested. I don't even think the West has a bunch of test units to test people for having it. China's already ran out of being able to test people. So if they can't test people to see if they have it, all they do is just quarantine people, and then they don't put it on the books, and they don't put it out on the official numbers. Do you understand? People are like, oh, why does Africa and South America not have any cases? It's not that bad. I guarantee you it's rampantly spreading right now, but nobody's getting tested, and they're just marking it down as died from some natural causes, flu, heart attack, cardiac arrest, or whatever. And they don't have tests they can't even test for it. 99% of the world population, well, I don't know about 99, because I would probably say 95%, 90%. Well, no. I mean, yes, because even the Chinese, they're all wearing surgical masks. It does nothing. It might, I guess if you cough, it'll keep it from going further, but it's not going to stop it. None of them are wearing goggles. They don't even know. It goes into your eyes and you're done. New information came out. It can live on a doorknob for like 5 days. That's like nightmare. 5 days. And then you touch it and you got it. That's it. You touch your face, it's game over. It's in your fecal matter, your stool. So if you go into a public restroom, you flush. If you didn't know, when you flush, it aerosols poo into the air, and it fills the entire bathroom, like up to 25 feet or something. So all it takes is one person in an airport bathroom to take a shit. They flush, and everyone who goes in there after that's probably going to get it. That's how infectious it is. That's what's concerning. Everyone, okay, and here's some more downplaying. Well, you know, only the old, only 3% are gonna mortality. No, it's 15, if not 20. And then, if you survive the first initial symptoms, which is flu-like symptoms or pneumonia-like symptoms, if you survive that, and I would say a larger percent than 3 don't, like maybe 10, 15 or something, right? We don't know because it's all lies coming out of China. All we know is the whatchamacallits are running 24/7. Where they burn the bodies, and now they have trenches and they're doing it in that. Anyways, so you get the symptoms. If you survive that, you might have it the rest of your life because there's no information coming out that your immune system will eventually defeat it, and then you don't have the virus in your system anymore. And there's no information. So if you might survive the first symptoms, but then you're still infectious for the rest of your life, and you still have the virus until they come out with a cure, and who knows if they will. And then what? Well, then you're pretty much quarantined until they do. They might let you go home, but you're not allowed to leave your home. In a dystopian future, let's say a quarter of the population get this, or half. Those people might have to live in their homes the rest of their lives with a bracelet, GPS bracelet, and every month you get some prescriptions so you could live. That would be that's like the sheep going from free range to caged. And it's called a cash cow. Pharmaceuticals want to make money. It's just a theory. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen or anything. Or maybe, the first symptoms, you'll get them a week after you're infected, you survive it. Then, maybe 6 weeks later, you'll have more intense complications with your organs or something, your nervous system, and then you croak then. We don't know because they're not telling us anything. That's the problem. Guys, it's serious. I mean, obviously, China's taking it super, super seriously. Everyone in their homes have to, go online or something and get their temperature checked every day now. And I showed you videos. Anyone who's even has symptoms is just getting rounded up, taken to the camps. And is that wrong? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, you got to stop it from spreading. That's not what I'm afraid of. I think eventually China will get it under control. What I'm afraid of is the rest of the world who's not even taking this seriously. That's what I'm afraid of. And the rest of the world's not prepared for this whatsoever. The average person in the US and Europe and the rest of the world, they don't even know what the hell is going on. They don't even know about this. They just heard about some crazy flu. It's going to be all right. Because they put out that, the flu kills more people. Not anymore. Let's give it one more week and it won't. Well, no, it doesn't, because we're getting fake numbers. So it's already worse, right? It's 10 times worse. All right. I hope for the best. I really hope that, these viruses, they'd mutate. The avian flu, it mutated to worse. And it was 6 months into it. Then it just wiped everyone out. But a lot of the times, these viruses will mutate to better. You have to think of these things as parasites. They're parasites. So they want to live in your body. And if they're just killing everyone, then it might mutate and it won't. And then it just lives in us. Right? Kind of like the flu. I don't know. Let's hope for the best. I don't know. Even if they listen, if they have and I keep seeing all these articles, this is going to happen every other day. Oh, they found something that is effective against it. They found something that's effective against it. It's to pump their stocks. After a while, everyone's going to ignore those news events. And even if they do find something, they have to be able to mass produce it. And it'll probably take a long time to mass produce it. So if we go to my my software here, this is what I put in for the data to run the algorithm. Initial infections, I put 2,500. RNAT was 4. Incubation time, 14 days. because we don't know if the incubation time is 4 days or for the rest of your life. This is insane. And I put in 15% mortality, and then the burnout I put 10% because, you know, there is going to be like extreme measures to stop it from spreading, and eventually some of it's going to burn out because the host will die. And so I put it in so the numbers line up with those numbers that were accidentally leaked. So the date's over here, right? So we're in February. So February 12th, total infections is around 177,000. Deaths is around 24,000. And I don't know. This was the closest I could get it. You have to really play around with this thing. And I put that in so it's the closest I could get it to that data that just leaked. So let's theorize how bad this could get and how fast it could get this bad. Because if you understand compounding and exponential growth, I made that last video to show you guys so you understand it, so it gets through your head. By March, I mean, we could see 2 million by the beginning of March. By the beginning of May, we could see 26 million. And you're thinking, oh, that's not so bad because, you know, there's 7 billion people in the world. 26 million is not that bad. But if you understand exponential growth and compounding, well, no, that's April. That's just April, 26 million. By May, the beginning of May, it's actually at 265 million, somewhere around there, right? Give or take 100 million, who knows? If the rate doesn't even slow down, and I don't think it will because the rest of the world is not doing preemptive measures. I mean, the U.S. they have bases set up already, getting ready for this, but the public itself is not doing things like getting food supply, getting masks, getting prepared. You know, everything's going to get shut down eventually. Just like China. And that's why I think it's really going to implode the economy. So the economy imploding on its own without the virus is like, you got to get prepared. So this on top of it just makes it like a Hollywood just disaster movie, right? Like World War Z or something. So by May, the beginning of May, we're looking at 250,000 infected. By the beginning, so by June, I mean, we're looking at 2.3 million, and then it jumps substantially. Or no. By the end of May, we're looking at almost 800 million to 1 billion. And then June, it's 2.3 billion. Okay, there's only 7 billion on the planet. So once you hit 1 billion with a B, that's when it's like you have a few weeks before like it just spreads and every major city is totally overwhelmed. Everyone's getting it within the next few weeks. Because if one person infects 4 to 5, once you hit that 1 billion, it's game over. Like everyone's getting it. Now, I'm assuming this will get slowed down from what pretty much the measures that are being taken in China, right? So it'll slow it down. There's on the record a lot of scientists who just came out in the past couple days saying you can't stop this. All you could do is slow it down. That's not me saying. I wish I brought those articles up. I just forgot. I'll bring it up next video. So, you know, you guys want me to do some Bitcoin TA and some stock market TA. All right, let's do some of that. Like, Oh, I wanted to show you guys something else. This is cool. So, preparing for the worst, hoping for the best. You want to take a look at a heat map of population density. This is the US, right? Here's Los Angeles. Pretty dense over there. When it's red and yellowish, the red is very dense, about 22 to 28,000. Yellow, orange is about 80,000 plus density. All right. So there's Los Angeles. Here's Houston, Dallas. I'll post a link of this in the newsroom. I know you guys are going to want to check this out. Here's Miami's pretty dense. But this is nothing. Just wait until I get to India and China. Here's New York. Most dense, right? How is Detroit this dense? I feel like half their population already left because it's like third world at this point. Here's Chicago, Illinois. Windy City. So the moral of the story is you kind of not want to be around these areas because it's going to spread like wildfire. And when these people freak out and they run out of supplies, they're going to get infected and then they're going to spread out, right? I'm assuming that's what's going to happen. So we go to the other map. Which one is it? No, this one. We could already see what we know and what they let us know. The red dots where they are, right? Let's go to Europe. Let's take a look at Europe. See how dense that is. Here's some red dots. These are infected people in Europe. Here's Europe. I did not know Moscow was this big and dense of a city. It's pretty big. Look at that. Here's Paris. I love this stuff. You could definitely see how human beings grow, like kind of like mold on an apple or something, like bread. Kind of like starts and then just spreads out, right? Here's London. Berlin. Check this out. Cairo. Look at this. The West Nile. It's fascinating how humans grow like every other organism. If you see it from like a bird's eye view or from like space, you can see how humans on this planet are just like every other organism as a whole, right? I mean, this would look like you know, some kind of organism growing in a petri dish or something, right? So here's Cairo. Look at this density. And, you know, we're usually around water as well. So this is the West Nile. And look at all the cities that pop up around the West Nile for farming and for living, right? Check this out. Very high denser populated areas down here as well, in Damascus and Tehran's the biggest, and then Baghdad. Istanbul, Turkey. Very dense. This is like the corridor to Europe. Huge trading going on here. Look how dense it is right here. Alright, so you guys think that's pretty dense? Pretty big? Let's take a look at Moscow. Look at that. Don't want to be in this area if it really breaks out here. Alright, let's zoom out. Look at India and China compared to Europe. And then compare it to US. Look at density. Look how much white there is. It's not very dense. Look at India. Look at China. India's population is pretty much there with China. Very close. Give or take a couple 100 million. If maybe they already caught up. They just don't have new census. Because that's how fast populations grow. This is dense. Delhi. Look how big this city is. And population density. Huge. I mean, just the entire India is just covered in people. And I was looking at this last night. It's fascinating. If you zoom in, there's it's almost like there's little towns everywhere. I've never been there. Little towns everywhere that are super consolidated with homes, like small, maybe backyards and apartment buildings, because all of these little villages are on this density heat map is 80 plus thousand density. So everywhere, it's like a tiny metropolis everywhere. Like every little town is just super densely populated. It's all yellow everywhere. And that is a perfect environment for something like this to spread. Mumbai, or however you say it. This is look how densely populated this is. This is insane. This is way bigger than New York City. And I've been to New York, and I don't know. I kind of felt like it wasn't. I mean, it's huge, it's dense, but I felt like I saw cars all the time and people twice in one night. Anyways, Bangalore, insane density everywhere. All right, that's India. Let's go to China. So there's a couple of YouTubers I'm watching that live in Hong Kong who are, putting up videos, and I think it's important to follow them because as this thing gets worse, you're gonna know when they're freaking out in their videos, and it's a good indication of how bad and how fast it's really getting. Here's Hong Kong. All this yellow, extremely dense, right? 80,000 plus. By the way, one of the largest international hubs in the world. And like I said, I mean, if they go on complete lockdown, I don't understand how the market keeps going up. It's insane. These people are all going to get wrecked, and I have no problem taking their money, taking the opposite side of the trade. Anyways, here's Shenzhen. Look at this. Very, very dense and heavily populated. Not quite as bad as India, though, from what I could see. And it's spreading that bad in China. But these cities, extremely dense. Let's go to Shanghai. Where is it? Where's Shanghai? There's Shanghai. It's the biggest city. I think the population's like 26, 27 million. It's huge. Look at this. So, and then here's Wuhan. This is where it started. Not too far away from Shanghai, in the largest city. Hubei and Wuhan, this entire area, completely quarantined. There's a bunch of cities now that are completely quarantined. I'm not exactly sure. Last time I heard it was 6. But they all are. Nobody's outside or going around in the other major cities either, because nobody wants to catch it. But eventually it's going to be the entire country. If it's not already, I'm not even sure, because no information's coming out, right? So, I think I've spent enough time on this. Oh, let's talk about Africa and South America. So South America, it's not as dense. The on the south, like the southern continent, so like South America, right? This continent, this one's a little more spread out. But Mexico, it's pretty dense. Mexico City, I've seen it. It's very big city, very dense. All right. Africa. Let's take a look at Africa. So Africa is not that dense, which is good for them. But obviously they're going to be lacking the most in hospitals and being able to, and educating the public and taking care of it all and everything. And not just that, China has pretty much colonized Africa, literally, and I guarantee you, it's all over. It's all over. It's just that they don't know. They don't know, and they don't know that. They just know that people are getting sick more than often, and maybe just falling over. But maybe there's a firewall and videos aren't getting. I don't know, but I guarantee you, it's still not going to be good here in the major cities. But it is more spread out, which is good. And honestly, I think India is the big one to worry about. Now, all the Indonesian islands and the Philippines, they're pretty dense. Thailand is getting hit hard right now. So it's not good. Japan also, it's really breaking out there. All right, I think I beat this horse enough. Let's take a look at let's do Bitcoin, then I'll do traditional markets. Now, if you can't, if you've listened to me this long, good for you. But imagine talking this long on video and trying to get it right the first time so you don't have to edit it. Because when I have to edit videos, it takes up like 4 hours of my day and it's really not worth it to me. So I appreciate you for sticking around. Here's Bitcoin. Listen, I mean, it's pretty obvious. If this virus gets really bad, you could say, oh, people are going to use it. Yeah, but I just heard mining farms are going down. Or they're not running them, and most of them are in China. So who's going to validate your super expensive and transactions that are going to take forever to go through, right? All right. So I think major resistance is at the 61.8 fib retracement from the previous high. It's at about 10,180. Oscillators are overextended, so I am expecting a correction. All the moon boys are pretty damn excited. A lot of people keep messaging me, hey man, can you please look at Bitcoin? So as a contrarian, I know they're about to get wrecked. And remember, a month ago or something like that, I said, hey, this looks like a great buying opportunity. I bought in. I took profits up around 9,000, and I haven't been paying attention for the past few weeks because honestly, there's more important things going on. And there's going to be some serious upside, I believe, in gold and silver. I'll talk about that in a second. But I just haven't had the time to look at crypto. So major resistance up here. I do not... it could correct any given time now, or it's just going to run up to like 10,200 somewhere around there, and then probably have a nice correction. By then, this thing's going to be spreading, and the least thing... And people are going to need to sell crypto and sell their stocks to maybe stock up on things they need. So there might be... People might want to just get money out of the bank. I mean, honestly, I'm going to do that. You're going to need cash. Not just that. This moving average, the 200-day moving average, is about to cross my blue equilibrium line. Extremely, extremely bearish, which means it should dump the price in the next few days or something. All right. Let's put a heat map on here. Heat map's not really telling me anything. It doesn't matter. I think there's going to be a huge correction anytime soon, or it might run up to 10,200 at the most, and then it's going to have an extreme correction, especially if things get worse around the world, right? That you have to take that into consideration. All right, let's take a look at the markets. We got a drink of my energy drink here. All right, here's the S&P 500. It rebounded, just made a new all-time high because everyone is they have bubble vision. It's a mania. They'll find any excuse to buy the dip until it just dumps, and it's going to dump eventually soon. This, guys, unsustainable. This is insane. Let's go to a monthly and a weekly. If this would load. It won't load. Oh, there we go. So let's go to a monthly. Alright, I'm gonna have to cancel out of these. What was this? Thanks for hanging in there. Sorry about this. Yes, please reload. Okay, give me a second. Come on. Well, while that loads, let's take a look at the FANG stocks. Is that not going to load? Come on. I'm not going to edit this. I just don't have the time. Unbelievable. These were running fine a second ago before I started the video. What else can I exit out of? Telegram. There we go. Alright, here's the financials. That's what popped up. Just making new all-time highs. Going straight up. Let's take a look at the FANGs. Here's the FANG index. It actually dumped today. Which is... The FANGs, like I said in my last video, is what's pulling the entire market up because everything's stuck in cookie-cutter index funds. So if the FANG is going to lead the way down, this looks good. This looks good for the beginning of the correction. If this a continuation of the FANG index, FNG, there's futures. Let's take a look at I'm waiting on TradingView. There we go. I thought this was markets. Alright, anyways. Here's all the indices. NASDAQ E-mini 100. S&P. FANGs. Dow Jones. Russell 2000. Vanguard Global. Listen, the Russell 2000 is starting to correct, so is the FANG index. So that tells, and these are moving first before the S&P, NASDAQ, and the Dow. This is what's dragging everything up. This is more of a this index gives you more of a real reality check to the markets, because the Russell has not made new all-time highs. Everything else has. The Russell is actually domestic for the U.S. market. Now, why is that? Capital flight. That's why. So for the past year, there's been capital flight out of Europe, emerging markets, and now especially China, into U.S. FANG stocks and indices. And that's why the U.S. stock market's in a bubble. And Trump gave the greatest speech ever and could tout that the economy is the best in the world. It's not, because the stock market isn't the real economy, but whatever. He's got to do what he's got to do to get reelected. So, this has every trademark of a mania, blow off top, bubble. I've seen it before a couple times now. I'm just chilling and waiting for it to correct. I'm looking for things to short, and I'm still long gold and silver mining stocks and ETFs. Now, for the next few weeks, if we get a correction in equities, the mining stocks will probably still rally. Now, if this virus thing gets really out of control and we go down that route, when I showed you the simulator, then yeah, I'm just gonna get out of everything essentially, and you can still long ETFs that only follow the underlying precious metals price, gold and silver, because mining ETFs and mining stocks are based off of a company functioning, and companies are not going to be functioning as great if everyone's like contagious and people can't go to work. But that's kind of far away. It's probably still a month or 2 months or maybe 3, 4, 5 into the future where we're going to find that out. So right now I'm still long mining stocks. There's still upside, I believe, in the next few weeks, possibly. So if I see otherwise, I'll change my mind, right? And then you could always just long the metals themselves, and those will probably go up no matter what. Now, at some point, you're gonna want to like take money out of your brokerage account, just in case, like if it's like everything freezes and goes down. But guys, that's like the worst possible case scenario. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Chinese stock market opened, so maybe things will be fine. I don't know. I'm entertaining every possibility. Okay. Yeah. But anyways, if this virus thing would have happened or not, I would still be saying the same thing. There's going to be a huge correction. It's gone parabolic. It's 90-degree angle price action. Momentum at those levels cannot be sustained. Even if the central banks just keep printing, at some point you need some sort of breather, something. 10%, 50%, 15 or 20% correction would be normal at this point. Look at Apple. So, I'm waiting for this to load. This is how decoupled the markets are from reality. Apple is shutting down plants. Most of their stuff is made in China. Is shutting down plants and stores, right? But its stock is shooting to new all-time highs. In what reality is the markets in? No reality. Look at Microsoft. Insane. Straight up. This is Microsoft down here. Amazon's about to break out and go even higher. Oh no, this was Alphabet. This is Apple. Apple's still near all-time highs. It's over here in this quarter. This is Apple. You guys can see this is Alphabet. JP Morgan. And then here's Berkshire, still going up. Now, I'm not saying... Okay, so when I say I'm going short, that doesn't mean I'm going short these things here that I'm showing you guys on my screen. There are other things for the private members. I want to look at some airlines. Even the airlines that cut like 30, 50% of flights, those stocks are still going up. It's insane. Tesla. Let's take a look at it. And by the way, when I go short, it's usually I buy an inverse ETF, not outright short. But sometimes I do buy puts, especially on, but you have to time it right. If you don't time it right, you're gonna get your short positions. You're gonna get a margin call, and you're just gonna get racked, and it's bad. You have to know it. You have to be a professional investor, in my opinion, to short anything. All right. And that's just that. They're not allowing shorts. Apparently you can't. I have to look into it. So, it finally dumped. One of the guys in my private room wouldn't listen to me. He's like, I'm buying the dip. And he bought like around 800, 900. I don't know what happened to him. I told him not to. I warned him. Human psychology is so powerful. And people I don't know. I don't get it. I'm not like the rest. I don't know. Let's take a look at gold and silver. So they keep smashing gold overnight around 3 a.m. And now it's like every other day. They keep smashing it. it doesn't matter because everyone keeps buying the dips, and this is going to continue until the market's finally correct. And when the market's correct, they're not going to be able to stop it. They're going to lose control. All the open interest on shorts are just going to get short squeezed. And I still think we're going to see some massive moves in gold. And then the mining stocks will rally as well. And so will silver finally, hopefully, break out. Hopefully, you could get above $20. That'd be amazing when this finally happens. But they keep smashing it overnight. And it's really annoying. They're still manipulating. Again, an article came out today. The JP Morgan or whoever is getting investigated again for manipulating the precious metals markets. I don't know why the regulators are doing this, because usually they're in cahoots, right? So who knows? But they're still playing with the market. But they're gonna lose control just like they did back in like 2009, and it's gonna go up. So it's just a matter of time, especially as this virus spreads. It's going to cause panic, and the safe haven number one thing is gold, and then silver, and then cash. All right. Well, most people go into cash first, but then they'll go to metals. But so let's do some TA on it. Let's go to the weekly. So we just had a 9 sell on the weekly. Another reason why I did maybe pull back to 1550 at some point this week. Actually, it fell all the way down to 1550. And I don't want to see this play out where it revisits 1500. Can it? Sure. As long as the markets keep going up, we could see a correction down to $1,500. Hopefully, we'll get a correction in equities and not a correction in metals. It's all about timing it. Let's take a look at a 3-day chart. By the way, the oscillators were a bit overextended on the weekly as well. It's on a weird 7 count on the 3-day. This is looking... It's bearish because the MACD is about to cross the downside, so is the RSI. Let's take a look at the daily. So the daily is a little bit bullish. I mean, the daily is bullish. So it all depends. If the price can finally break back above 1600 today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday the 7th. Hopefully we get a sell-off on Friday, take back Friday, and then it might shoot metals to 1600. Or I'm happy if it could get above 1580. I'll take it, and then we'll see from there. Hopefully we get a correction equities tomorrow. But they're just so oblivious to reality. It's unbelievable. So you just don't know. So you might want to play stops if you have a leverage position in metals, just in case if it does dump, because the weekly and the 3-day is bearish, although the daily is bullish. So next week, it's either going to dump or it's going to rally. I hate holding metals over the weekend because Monday morning, they always come out and they smash the prices, like right before the open. So they love doing it. It's hard right now. Let's go to the 12-hour. So the way they're really manipulating gold is through silver. So I'll have to look at silver. Apparently it's easier. It's less liquid. 12-hour on gold is, I don't know, neutral. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. 4-hour is, I don't know, slightly negative, neutral. It could turn positive if the price could just get above. I'd say 1580 to get in the clear to turn bullish. Until then, it could just trade sideways, or at least it's making higher lows on the weekly. But if it does break below 1550, it's probably gonna drop to 1500 pretty quickly. So you got to watch out for that on gold. But let's take a look at silver, see if that tells us anything. It's really hard to do TA on silver because the chart's been ruined by them constantly just dumping the price, because that's how they're controlling it. And we've had like five different cases of the regulators going after manipulators, and it doesn't stop anything. It's still happening. Here's a monthly chart on silver. I don't know. Looks, this is kind of a bottoming pattern right here. It's like a cup and handle a little bit right there. RSI is all over. I mean, the oscillators are just all over the place. So the monthly could go either way. Let's take a look at the weekly. This is bullish right here. Check this out. The 200-day moving average about to cross my blue equilibrium line on the weekly. So the last time it did that. Okay, so the last time the 200-day moving average passed over my blue equilibrium line was on gold. And that was the beginning of 2019, and that was the start of the bull market. So what if the same thing happens with silver, and then silver just breaks out, goes higher, hits above $20? That would shoot gold, like, who knows, above 1700 to 1800. So this is actually very positive. I like this. This is great. I just noticed this. I haven't looked at the charts prior to making this video, and the weekly for silver. So this is looking good, guys. This is coming up right now next week, so this is good. Let's take a look at the daily. Let's say daily's bullish. Yeah, daily's bullish as well on silver. All right, so I'm more bullish for next week on metals. We just need a nice correction on the equities, right? On all the other indices, and the most undervalued asset class should perform very well in the next few weeks, and the miners will probably perform well as well. Now, of course, if this virus thing gets out of control and the worst of the worst happens, then we'll take it, day by day here, and I'll let you guys know when I'm like officially really worried, and then I'm, for right now, the best advice is you better have masks and stuff like that, gloves, and sterilize to be able to sterilize things. Goggles, very important. Know the types of masks, right? P100 and 95s minimum. There's all kinds. I should make a separate video talking about all this. And then you have to know how to handle the situation. That'll be for another video. Smash some likes. Leave anything in the comment section. Please share my videos. It's the only way my videos get out there and my channel grows, and I'll continue to do this. And go into my chat groups. In the newsroom, I keep you guys really up to date with what's going on with everything, right? With the markets, it's mainly the videos. By the way, guys, when I talk about TA and the markets, it's not like it's going to happen tomorrow. I'm talking about next week and the week after. I'm a swing trader, not a day trader. All right. Go to my website if you're interested in mining stocks as well. Maybe I'll do a discount because I'm spending so much money on prepping. All right, guys. Until next time.